The last letter. The odd hum echoed through the quiet streets as Adam stepped into his small, dimly lit apartment. He had just finished his shift at the factory, exhaustion heavy on his shoulders. He sighed and collapsed onto his worn-out couch. As he reached for his phone, a notification caught his eye. A message from his younger sister, Aisha. "Brother, please call me when you're free. It's important." Adam frowned. It wasn't like Aisha to send urgent messages. He quickly dialed her number, and she picked up on the first ring. Her voice trembled. "Adam, Baba isn't doing well." His heart clenched. Their father, an old man of unwavering faith, had always been the pillar of their family. Adam hadn't seen him in years, not since he had left home in anger, determined to carve his own path, free from his father's constant reminders about prayer, patience, and trust in Allah. "Doctor says he doesn't have much time left," Aisha continued, her voice breaking. "He keeps asking about you." Guilt hit him like a tidal wave. He had ignored his father's calls, brushed aside his mother's pleas to come home, convinced that he had all the time in the world to make amends. But now, Adam booked the first train home. By the time he arrived, the house felt different, quieter, heavier. The walls, once filled with the warmth of his father's Quran recitations, now felt empty. His mother sat by the door, her hands clasped in silent dua. Aisha stood beside her, eyes red from crying. "Is he?" Adam hesitated, his voice barely above a whisper. "He's waiting for you," Aisha said softly. Adam rushed to his father's bedside. The old man lay weakly, his breath shallow. His once strong hands, the same hands that had lifted Adam onto his shoulders as a child, now trembled. His eyes, once filled with wisdom and strength, were now dim, struggling to stay open. "Adam!" His voice was barely audible. Tears blurred Adam's vision. "Baba, I'm here." His father's lips curled into the faintest smile. "Alhamdulillah." He weakly gestured toward the small wooden table beside him. "There! A letter! For you!" With shaking hands, Adam picked up the folded piece of paper. "My beloved son, I have missed you every day since you left. Not a single salah passed where I didn't pray for you. I knew you were angry, and I asked Allah to guide you back. My son, this life is short. The people we love can leave us at any moment. Don't let pride keep you from those who care for you. No matter what happens, never abandon your prayers. Never let the dunya take you away from your akhirah. And always, always remember, my door and my heart were never closed to you. I love you, my son, your father." Tears spilled onto the letter as Adam gripped it tightly. He looked at his father, regret choking him. "I'm so sorry, Baba," he whispered. His father weakly lifted a trembling hand and placed it over Adam's. His fingers, cold and frail, squeezed gently. "Never be too late for those who love you," his father murmured. His eyes locked onto Adam's, a silent plea lingering in them. Then his breath hitched, his chest rose, then fell, and then nothing. Adam felt his father's grip loosen. His body, once so full of life, now lay still. The silence was deafening. His mother let out a quiet sob. Aisha turned away, clutching her mouth to stifle her cries. Adam's body trembled. He had raced against time, but he had still been too late. The walls that once echoed with his father's voice, his laughter, his constant reminders of Salah and patience were now silent forever. Regret crashed over him like waves in a storm. His father had forgiven him. He had never stopped loving him. But Adam had wasted years in stubbornness, years he could never get back. The Adhan for Fajr filled the air. Adam looked at the letter one last time. His father's words seared into his heart. He turned toward the prayer mat that lay beside the bed, the same prayer mat his father had used every day. With tears streaming down his face, Adam fell into sujud. His body shook with silent cries as he whispered the words his father had always reminded him of. Ya Allah, forgive me. I was lost, and you brought me back. Because sometimes the greatest loss is realizing too late how much love you took for granted. But Allah's mercy is greater than any regret. And so, Adam vowed that day he would never be late again. Not for his loved ones, not for his prayers, and never again for the path that led him back to Allah. Moral of the story: cherish your loved ones before they become a memory. Never let pride keep you from making amends. No matter how far you stray, Allah's mercy is always there, waiting for you to return.